we back with another one, man. House of Underdog talk, man. Back with it. See what I'm saying? Back like we never left. We stand on this playoff talk. You know, we gonna hop straight into it, man. We gonna hop straight in the pool without sticking our toe in there. We gonna hop straight into it. You know, there's been some interesting playoff games. This is currently being recorded on the 23rd. So it's a couple game twos that don't finish. Tonight we got Boston versus Orlando, Cleveland versus Heat, and Houston versus Golden State game 2. So I'm just gonna speak on, touch on game 1, game 2 of certain series. And we're gonna jump to the East first. We're gonna be in the Eastern Conference first. And we got, Cleveland and Miami. Game 1. Cleveland, picking up where they left off in the regular season. I think I called in the X Factor video, Ty Jerome or DeAndre Hunter was going to be the X Factor. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Ty Jerome had 29 first game 1. If I'm not mistaken, that was his first. I could be wrong, but I think that was his first playoff game, but I could be wrong. So. And, I said it before, I think the Heat are a piece away. But they got solid depth, and they can definitely win a game or 2 in this series. So, far from over. Going to continue to need a good all-around game from Davion Mitchell. Good offensive game from Hero. Good all-around game from Wiggs. A good all-around game from Bam. I like Slow-Mo. So, I like the pieces that they got. I think Cleveland is just a little bit more polished at this point. Indiana and Milwaukee, game 1, obviously Dame time was out. Some good trash talk towards the end of that game 1 game with Dame and Gary Trent at Tyrese Halliburton, and that's playoff basketball, man. I think game 2 I saw Gary Trent and Siakam get into it, and that made the teams get into it. So it's just good playoff basketball. Obviously Dame coming back from a blood clot, that's a real health concern, way bigger than basketball. And to be honest, I didn't expect him to be back. I'm glad he's healthy, man. All glory to God. But I think that first game back, for it to be his first game back, for it to be his first game back coming in a hostile environment like the playoffs, coming off a blood clot injury, not even being able to be on the court as far as up and down the court because of this injury is so this is a career-ending type of injury. And he came back at a crazy time frame, man. And again, I'm going to say it again, all glory to God. But for it to be his first game back, damn near 40 minutes played, 36 minutes played, 14-7, 4 from 13 from the field, you got to expect that, bro. Like, a blood clot injury, bro. You got to expect the rest. You got to expect the condition to be a little off. I know Dame said he was still being able to get a lift in, so still being able to keep that strength. But it's nothing like that game speed on top of a playoff-type intensity crowd. Like, that plays a matter. So I think he played, for it to be his first game back, 36 minute, no minute restriction. You living with that, right? Unfortunately, it didn't get them to a win, but I think game 3, going back home to Milwaukee, down 0-2, you're gonna need more out of your role players. You're gonna need more out of Kuz. I know that first game went scoreless, but Kuz is very capable, man. He's very capable to give you a double-double with points and rebounds. Like, We ain't here to hate on players, bash players. So like when Kuz have a scoreless game in game 1 of the playoffs, we ain't the ones just making funny memes. Man, we love a good comeback story, bro. We love the resilience, bro. So I definitely expect Kuz to bounce back. I just think everybody, the role players, KPJ, Gary Trent, T. Peasy, Brooke, Bobby, like Kuz, like these are the players that have to pick up that slack even more. Giannis is gonna be Giannis in this series. Dame is coming back though, so that's why the role players have to be extra because Dame is not 100%, right? His rhythm is not intact 100%, right? So, I mean, if they can steal this game 3 at the crib, somehow get game 4 at the crib too, and it's 2-2, we got a series. I think we still got a series now, but just got to make better adjustments. I think some of these shots Indiana are getting, especially the first 3 quarters, are like, they're not easy shots, but like, it's like I haven't really seen too much of an adjustment from Doc, and we fought with Doc this way. So, next series coming out that East, man. You know we gonna go Knicks Detroit, bro. 1-1 right now, could easily be 2-0 Detroit, but Detroit showed a lack of playoff experience in game 1. I think they let in the fourth quarter. I think New York went on a 21-0 run, if I'm not mistaken. So it just showed a lack of experience, but that could definitely been a game they have won. Second game, it just showed New York is going to run a lot of isolation basketball with Jalen Brunson. Very capable, very skillful. But it takes away from players like OG. Because when Brunson was hurt recently with the foot injury, if I'm not mistaken, the foot, we seen a different side of OG, a more assertive side of OG. And you kind of need that OG in the playoffs if you want to be a championship team, if you're New York. So I feel like they need to get some more ball movement, man. So guys like a OG can get more utilized in the offense so he can have a better rhythm. But more so like the pressure is on other players now. Now Brunson can play off ball because Brunson can play off ball. He played off ball with Luka in Dallas. You got Mikal, because New York doesn't have a lot of depth. So when you're running heavy ISO with Brunson, it's like Cat. I think he went scoreless with 0 for 3 in the second half in game 2. Like that can't happen. That can't happen. Like that can't happen, bro. Not for Cat. Like it got to be more touches, bro. They had Tobias Harris on him. Professional, but it's a height advantage, right? Cat is just 7 foot, Tobias 6'7", 6'8". You know what I mean? We're gonna give him 6'8". So, we gotta utilize that more. You know what I mean? So because they don't have depth and they're running heavy isolation basketball from one person, it kind of affects them, right? So because you have no depth, I feel like you do have a good starting 5, so you should utilize that starting 5 to the best of its ability. Everybody being utilized, though. Cat is if everybody's healthy, he's the 3rd best center in the league. Right behind Jokic and Embiid. He's skillful. He's the best shooting big ever in the NBA. In NBA history, he's the best shooting center. But he needs to get if you're going to have Tobias Harris on him, as ball on the right wing, Brunson, or whatever the case may be. Cat start left low post. Josh Hart sets him a screen, so he crosses over to right low post, and you give it to Cat down low. I don't like when Cat posts up and then he catches the ball. Now he's at the fucking top of the key or the top of the right wing 3. That's too high, bro. Cat got to get that ball low to the point where he can just 1 or 2 dribble because he's gonna have the height advantage. You know what I mean? To me, Cat's next step in his peak of his career, skill wise, is like adding that Dirk fade, but getting deep in the post though, bro. Not getting that bitch deep mid. No, you gotta catch that bitch deep in the post and add that Dirk type of fade, one-legged fade, one dribble body bump fade. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? But Detroit is showing. Cade has played his second playoff game. First game, you can tell that was his first NBA playoff game. Second game, if I'm not mistaken, he had 33. And I'm not really familiar with the rebounds and assists, but I watched the game, so, you know, his feel for the game is something you really can't teach, man. His pace. He understands the game, bro. You know, he can finish inside. Like, he had a tough contested layup that he made against OG, straight body bump, mano y mano. So, like, I think that was very, very, it showed a lot from Cade, and it also showed that he can let others hoop. Like, Dennis hit a clutch 3. Cade wasn't trying to, like, force the ball out his hand. He was, you know, letting the game come to him, but also seeing the floor of the game. You feel me? So I think it could go 6, bro. Detroit can have that over in 6, but I think it goes 7. I think Detroit is the most physical team. Detroit has the most depth. Right now, it's just inconsistency of, like, the second best player for the Knicks, right? It might be Cat, it might be Mikal. Are you going to utilize OG, right? So I think Detroit, they just have more depth. They're finding their footing. They're about to be home in Detroit for Game 3, Game 4, and this series can easily be 3-1 coming back to New York, right? So I think the pressure on the Knicks, man. Moving on, you got Boston versus Orlando. Game 1. Orlando's hurt, right? Jalen Suggs is out. The other Wagner brother is out. So they got pieces just out. I know I'm missing a few. You know. And Game 1, Boston won. You know, big game. I ain't gonna say big game, but very reasonable game for Peyton Pritchard. Boston has a team, bro. Boston, you know, to me, is coming out of the East. They won the championship last year. They have a team. They have a two-headed snake, but the people that they have around that is like, bro, real championship pieces. A Drew Holiday, a D. White, Porzingis, right? A Big Al. Like, they got a team, so it's gonna be hard to beat Boston. But Game 2 tonight, Jason Tatum is doubtful with a bone bruise in his wrist. That's huge, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Let's just say he's out tonight. Could Orlando still win? I think they could still win. But I think Boston's team, depth-wise, is so solid, they'll be able to still hold up. You know what I mean? Like, I do think that, right? But I feel as if it just depends on Tatum come back, or if he doesn't, I think Boston can still hold up. Paolo is not going to be able to beat you by himself. You can kind of try your best to take out Franz Wagner. And, you know, if Paolo is having a unique one-on-one situation, he's not going to beat a Boston Celtics team by himself, not with that roster. I just think Boston has the better team. They come fresh off a championship, so they got the experience. Orlando was in a Game 7, but they're missing key players this year because of injury, so all that play a part in it, man. And I think Boston edges it out. Orlando could get 1 or 2, though, for sure. Definitely, they could get 1 or 2. You know, moving on to the West, though, you know, we're going to go OKC, Memphis. OKC, just the more chemistry, the more joy, having fun. You know, it's just, you know, SGA hasn't even been playing SGA type of basketball, right? Hasn't been the most efficient. And it just shows, you know, how his team is stepping up for him. And it's the same shots he's getting, bro. The same shots he was making regular season. Right now, 2 games in, you know, a couple of them ain't falling, right? It ain't no worry with that. I ain't gonna lie. It ain't no worry. But Memphis, on the other hand, need a Dylan Brooks right now, bro. You need a Tyus Jones still. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think those are 2 pieces alone that, you know, will be useful, will be valuable in this series, but in the playoffs too. Like, you know what I mean? It just shows what Memphis is kind of missing. OKC is having like great extra effort, like, cause Memphis is drawing up good plays, and it's like OKC is just like having great extra effort, and it's so great of extra effort. Like, I done seen a couple shot clock violations. I done seen some heavily contested type of looks, and, you know, that's just shout out to OKC defense, man. Well coached over that way. I think that series will be a sweep, man. And I think this offseason Memphis make some moves. They looking to a new coach for sure. They looking to bringing in more depth. You know, I don't think they trade Ja, bro. Come on, Ja. It's box office. You know, Ja is gonna keep Memphis ticket selling, right? Ja is, if not the face of the youth, he might not be the face of the NBA, but like, he got the youth. We talking about, I guarantee we got, like, find a way to look at the sales or views or most impact to the youth in the NBA. Which NBA player has the most impact on the youth, or whatever the case may be. It's Ja for sure. So, you know, I think they just, you know, continue to be with him through the ups and the downs, through the youngness, and then through the maturity. Like, you know what I mean? You know, and just continue to build around that. I feel like you got a core with him, Bane, and JJJ. I think you can play GG. I think you play GG. I think you play GG more. But yeah, it's gonna be 4-0 though. Nuggets and Clippers, Kawhi Leonard, man. But I already said it, bro. I probably said it first video. Like, he's top 5 when he's healthy in the playoffs, when it really matters, when it's meaningful basketball. You know, so this isn't no surprise to me. Like, if you know Kawhi, who He had 39 on 4 missed shots, bro. That's so efficient. He's in the same boat as Jordan and Kobe and LeBron, and he's in that same boat, right? I'm telling you, he'd be our favorite player if he trash talk, if he had a little bit more swagger to his game when he on one, right? So he a silent killer though, silent assassin for sure. I think you need more out of Harden though. You know, Harden's a great player. I think Harden kind of, his playoff basketball is still his regular season basketball. You know what I mean? So, but that can definitely still get you a great ass game in each series. 2 good games, 3 alright games, maybe 1 off game, right? You know what I mean? But or it could give you 2 great games, 2 good games, 2 alright. You know what I mean? So I think for them, Zubac has been a major place. I think Powell is going to continue to find his rhythm. I like the shots he was getting game 2. I'm not going to lie. I think you need more out of their bench, you know, for sure. I like the way Ben had one aggressive play, and he scored off of it. But they don't really play him like that enough. And he got to be in with the right lineups, right? That's something to build off of, actually, too, though. But I think Clippers edge this out, though. 'Cause I think the coaching situation still plays a big part for Clippers to have 20 turnovers game 1 and the Nuggets only beat them by like 2 or 3. I don't really like that's supposed to be a 10+ point win right there, right? And they obviously lose a close one to the Clippers, so it's 1-1 now. But I think the Clippers edge this out. They definitely got to clean up. They cut their grass and keep it clean. But I think they can get over this, you know, because of the coaching, the late firing. MPJ is a little hurt right now. His status is kind of unknown for game 3. So I think it's just leaning towards the Clippers' way. Might go 7 though, or 6. Lakers Timberwolves. 1-1 right now. Great game 1. I don't think the Lakers had enough effort when it came to like getting back to showing a body, contesting a shot off playing help man. Because like I said in the first video, bro, Lakers they're going to play great team defense. Anthony Edwards is not going to be able to see no true one-on-ones. And if you saw game 2, if you listen to game 2 post-conference with Ant, he said he was a little confused. So, first video, I called it, bro. Like, they're not going to let him play one-on-one. They're not going to let him see the gaps like that. They're going to make him be a passer. You know what I mean? And what I said is what has happened game 2. Game 1, Lakers, I felt like I said, they didn't have the extra effort with them to contest shots. Like, you giving Naz Reid wide open shots. His shots weren't even hitting rim straight. So, you know, when you have the extra effort and you're tilting on defense, playing the gaps, playing the help side, having them confused, you know, I think that's beneficial. You know what I mean? He hasn't seen that before. So it's like, I think Anthony Edwards will bounce back, but I think it's going to come down to coaching in this series, who continues to make the best chess moves. So that's going to be a great series. I wouldn't be surprised. Listen, if Minnesota can figure out how to adapt off this last chess move the Lakers just made, it'll go 7. But if they don't, Lakers in 5, Lakers in 6. You know what I'm saying? Because that was some great defense yesterday on Ant. You know, we'll say that. Then we got Rockets Warriors. We want to talk about a tough shot taker, but most importantly, a tough shot fucking maker, bro. That boy Wardell, Stephen Curry, I ain't gonna lie, like, he the only person in the NBA can shoot heavily contested shots or contested shots, and you think it's going in too. Like, it's crazy, bro. His shot-making ability is, bro, a definition of playoff basketball. You know what I mean? You know what I'm gonna do. You know we know what you gonna do. But, bro, his shot-making ability is crazy, right? I think that Houston just being young. I think I said Jalen Green was going. If I'm not mistaken, I think I said him or Amon was going to start. Whichever one of the Thompson bros are on Houston. Respect though, for sure. Respect. But they're gonna be the X factor. Jalen Green. He's gonna have to be that guy for them. I'm not gonna lie. Other than Sengun, who's gonna be that guy? Is it gonna be Freddie V? The shot volume was their game one, but him and Jay Green was off. So I mean, I think Golden State gets it out of there out of pure experience. The shot making ability, playoff Jimmy's a real thing. They still got a Swiss Army knife in Kuminga, which hopefully he plays. And I think Sengun is gonna solidify his presence for sure in this series. But who's gonna be that second guy, right? To put the ball in the bucket, right? I think Amon can be that second best player. Who's gonna be that scorer? Is it gonna be Jalen Green? Is it gonna be Freddie V? Is it gonna be Dylan Brooks? If Houston can adapt, and if they can get consistency out of Jalen Green, better numbers out of Freddie V, this is going 7. If Houston can't adapt, if they can't find out who's going to be that third scorer, it could be over. It could be over in 5. So we're gonna see, man. Playoff basketball, man. Playoff sports and fight nights, man. Nothing like it. Just like that, man. We just dropped another. Stay tuned, man. We got a whole lot of more gas on the way. Whole lot more shit, man. House of Underdog talk, man. We the new sports center, man. The new First Take. Shout out to them, though.